Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Lowdown. My name is Trey Hubbard, and today's episode I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a pinch pot. Now me and my producer Tyler Hapney went to the ceramic studio here at the University of Akron. I'm currently in a class, so I have access to it. Others really have to be enrolled in the art program. But as you can see, they have a mosaic on the outside that spells out ceramics in the top, so that was pretty cool to see. So I'm just going to walk in and start doing my thing. So first thing I'm going to do is reach in these bins to get my clay. We have these all around the studio, usually like one in each room. But I have to go in here and get our clay before I even start. So reaching in here, I'm going to get about maybe, 6 or 7 clumps of clay. I don't want to get too much. I'm just here to make a pinch pot, something simple, something small, nothing too crazy. After I get my clay, I'm just gonna weigh it just to make sure I have a good amount. And I got between 2 and 3 pounds, so that's pretty cool. And then I start wedging my clay. And wedging is the process of getting all the air bubbles out. So you can see me kind of putting the clay down and then picking it back up and then doing the same thing over and over again. That's just to get the air bubbles out. And this is because if there's air bubbles in the kiln, while the clay is in the kiln, then it has a possibility of exploding. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab my board. I like to put my stuff on boards instead of using a table because sometimes it gets sticky to the table and it's easier to transport with it. I have my tools out. I'm gonna be using a blade just to make sure I can cut the clay. I'm gonna be using what I call a poker just to, have details and stuff. And then I'm gonna be using a rib just to smooth out my clay. And then of course some water as well, just in case my hands or the clay gets. So what I'm doing now is just shaping my clay just to have a good form for the end of the process. You're saying whatever you want, you're gonna have to make it. So this is what I'm doing right now. And then this is how the clay came out. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a little pot, nothing too crazy. I could put a handle on it, make it a mug, but I decided to just leave it as a pot. And then I'm going to be smoothing out my clay, making sure that it's all good. I don't want it to be too rough around the edges, if that makes sense. And now I'm going to be creating a ZTV logo. I thought since I'm doing something for ZTV, I might as well make it ZTV related. I decided to put some decals on it too. None of this has meaning. I just kind of put some stuff around it just to make it look fun and cool. Also, I put my initials on it just in case somebody, thinks it's theirs. You always have your initials on the bottom just to make sure. So I put a plastic bag over my clay just to preserve it. If I wanted to add anything in the future, I could do that and it wouldn't be too dry, just to keep that moisture inside the clay. So after a couple of weeks, I came back to the kiln area where all our clay gets fired. And then this is the end product. I wasn't too mad with it. It came out pretty cool. It didn't have any abnormalities or anything. And before I color my stuff, I'm gonna actually, paint I should say. Before I paint my stuff, I'm gonna actually wash it off just to make sure that all that dust is off of there before I paint. And the colors I'm gonna be using are purple, blue, black, yellow, and white. This part of the video is just me painting. Nothing too crazy. I'm gonna let you guys kind of see how I am or see what I'm doing, and then yeah. So I decided to add some purple in the background. I painted it blue and yellow for the ZTV logo and of course around the ZTV logo. But I decided to put purple around it too. Purple is my favorite color, so I thought that was pretty cool just to add something that I like instead of just having something for the station, you know what I'm saying? Just to make it personal. So this is the finished product of my pinch pot. Came out pretty cool. I'm not too mad at it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my video and I hope to see you soon.